Okay, so we're going to do a fun little tutorial video tonight. I understand that most of you out there, my subscribers, friends of mine on here, uh, others in the YouTube card collecting community, you know how to use eBay. That's one of the main places you purchase your cards. But I want to do a little tutorial. If you're new and you're new to the hobby, or maybe you're not new to the hobby, but you're new to eBay and you want to know how to search out a card, how to get the best deal, different ways and methods that people that do this regularly, what do they do? What do they use? So I'm going to use, for instance, the 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. Let's say that you want to get a PSA 9, a graded card of a Ken Griffey, this iconic Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Upper Deck card. So first, you want to make sure you're specific. Type out 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. and then add PSA 9. Let's hit return. And let's see what the initial searches are. So eBay's, the way they normally do things, it starts with this best match. I like that sometimes, but I don't use that when I'm looking and searching for something. So what I'll do is, if I'm looking for an auction, I always go to ending soonest. Let's see if there's any that are being auctioned off right now, because a lot of times that's where you're going to get the best market price. So you hit auction here like I just did. I did ending soonest. Now, as you can see, there's nothing that's ending here tonight. It's 6:45 on a Thursday. The closest one ending is Saturday at 1:34 p.m. There's $65 is where it's at. It's got 8 bids on it. Do you want to wait till Saturday to get this PSA 9? I don't want to wait. I want to buy something right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this ending soonest to priced lowest first. I like doing that. And I'm going to change this auction to buy it now. Okay. Boom. What do we got? So the lowest PSA 9, $79 or best offer. This is not a PSA actually. Sorry, but I don't know who that is. That's Jim's grading company. Jim does that in his basement. But here we go. $90 for a PSA 9. That's the lowest one that, let's see. Yeah, lowest one. We're back to Jim's grading service here. Again, he's sponsored that, so that's showing up. So you got to be careful. Things end up getting put in here that have been sponsored. People have paid extra money to get that there, but that doesn't mean that it's actually the lowest. That will just show up in there. But so the lowest is this $90 plus $374. So $93.74 to get a PSA 9. Buy it now. Then you go down, $91.13 plus 3. So you're looking at $94.13 to get that one. You can buy that now, have that shipped right out to you. Okay, let's just say we look at them, and I take a look at this one, and I love the way that it looks. Okay, so wave your mouse over it. See that? You can see it zoom in there. This has always been one of my all-time favorite cards. Still is. Probably always will be. All right, you can do that and kind of zoom in. You like it. You like the way it's centered. You're pleased with it. You look at the back. So I clicked on that and it made it larger here. So then I'm looking at this Ken Griffey Jr. card and I decide, hey, that's the card for me. So then you click buy it now and you've got it. What you want to make sure though is before you click buy it now, you look at this over here, and what do you know? KC Futures, another Kansas City guy. Need to meet this guy sometime. KC Futures. You want to look at his feedback. 99.9%. That's pretty darn good. And then this number right here is very important. 32,495 feedback. So he's sold a lot of cards. He's done a lot of business. If you want to dive in a little bit deeper, you can click on that number, and then you can go in and see a breakdown of his positive versus his neutral versus his negative feedback. And as you can see, the positive far outweigh the other things that have gone on here. I'm not going to click in there because I don't really care specifically what these negative people have said, but we'll look at some of the positives here. Click on that, and then look, you can kind of see some of the other things he's selling. So it's obvious he sells a lot of cards. Sometimes you'll stumble on eBay sellers and they don't sell cards at all. They've somehow, it's ladies' shoes and she's selling 2 or 3 cards on the side. But you look at this and you're thinking, okay, well, he's selling Barry bonds. He's selling these different. So it's obvious he does this. He's getting some great feedback. Item exactly as described. I would feel very, very comfortable buying a card from him. So now you feel good about it. Then you click buy it now and you go from there. But let's say that you've decided you want to wait for an auction, okay? So let's see here. Let's go back to, you can see what I was searching for. A vintage brick cell phone, a vintage cell phone. I wanted to see what a Motorola beeper goes for now. Motorola pager. And Patrick Mahomes is always one of my biggest searches. Okay. But you know what? I decided it's just a little bit too much to do a buy it now. So I'm going to go back and I'm willing to maybe look into an auction here. What do you know? Mr. Probstein123 shows up. Let's take a look at this one. So you look at the card, you like the card. Look at the back, you like the back. This is finishing 6 days from now. So what do? Well, I go in here and I could place a bid. However, what the pros do is something different. And I'm not going to go, I don't have that open, but they use sniping software. And what that does is it puts in a last minute, last 10 seconds, last 30 seconds bid, as opposed to putting in the bid now and then waiting it out for 6 days. So then you're not continuing to bid. You're just putting in one bid at the very end, and then you name what is the amount that you're willing to spend on this card. So let's say I want to spend $74 on this card. I put that in, and then at the last second, it will bid up to my high, 74. So give you a little bit of an idea. Let's search one more card. Let's say that we're looking for a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan in a PSA 7. What are we going to get here? What are the results? What do you know? Probstein, he's got one 4 hours from now at 10:59. That's going to be ending. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what do we think. So if we want to wait for the auction, right now it sits at 16.25, okay? Click on these 38 bids. Let's see if anyone's shilling it up there. Obviously, there's no way to tell here. It's easier to tell at the end of an auction if shady things are going on. I do always, when I'm looking at auctions, okay, when I'm looking at these bids, none of this means much to me, but it is always interesting when you see people with feedback that are bidding on items where the feedback is like 1. This one here is 48, but the feedback is 1 or 2 or 3. Seems to me to be an account, and most times they've bid 10, 20, 30 times, and they've just made the bids. You know, it should have only been 10 bids, but it's 35 or 40 bids. So here's another thing. 16.25, just because you see that 16.25, that doesn't have anything to do with what that final price will be. So you need to know, what is it that you're willing to pay? Well, if I were just to go on and buy it now, $22.95 plus $4 shipping, that's not bad if you got that kind of money to spend. $2,200 with free shipping. Look at that, 41 people are watching that. I've learned that the watchers tell you a whole lot, because there's a lot of smart people out there. And the higher these watchers get, the more I get interested in that card, okay? So let's see if there's any more with watchers. 12 people are watching that card. There's a reason they're watching that. Normally that means it's either a special card or it's a pretty decent price. And then I think it's got to be over 10 watchers for it to show up. But look, 24 people watching that. So you look in that may be because the price is right, or it's a really good looking card. But people don't watch cards that they don't want. Very simple. So, but nothing really there. Now you can click on these, and sometimes you'll see a smaller amount of watchers. Let's see if there's anybody watching this one. Nothing really shows up there. That means there's not a lot of people that are watching it. Well, let's go back up to that one. I'm now interested because 41 people, 41 smart people out there are watching this. So why are they watching it? Well, normally, let's see. It's a good looking card. It's a good looking 7. And then you go over here and you think, oh, well, maybe I should buy that. Well, let's look. Toy Addict Reviews. Does that sound like a baseball card or a sports memorabilia person? No, it sounds like a guy that's selling Marvel action figures, but maybe he stumbled on a card or he's selling it for a buddy. Let's see what some of his other items are. What is he selling here? What do you know? Action figures. Star Wars. Marvel. Boom. Actually, that's DC. Legos. This guy is obviously, he knows a little bit about sports cards, but he doesn't know a lot. And that's why there's 40-some people watching this, because he's underpriced. I'm just kind of speculating, but he may have underpriced this card. Now, would I trust buying from him? Let's see. 89 feedback. He hasn't sold a whole lot, but he's got 100%. And what do you know? He sold this Marvel Spider-Man deal. He sells a lot. Looks like a very trustworthy person. Oh, what do we have here? 6 months ago, he sold a Michael Jordan rookie PSA 8 for $2,800. And the person that purchased it from him, excellent communication, fast shipping, great seller. I feel very confident about buying from this guy. So now we know we're getting a card that the price seems good. This guy seems like a legitimate seller. There are 41 people watching this. Fits into my price range. I think I'm going to buy it now. There you go. So those are just a few things. There's a lot to learn, but very simple if you want to learn how to purchase baseball cards, sports memorabilia cards on eBay. Those are some just easy ways to learn to search. You can search a lot of best match, ending soonest, lowest first, highest first. Sometimes let's do this. The highest first sometimes reveals things to you. So now you could buy this as a lot here, so that's why the price goes up. This guy's selling it for $39, but now I can go down and without see this stuff over here, you can really specify your price range and all that. If I don't want to do that, but I want to see every single card that falls into that category of 86 Fleer Jordan PSA 7, then I go from highest to lowest, and I can work my way down to my price range. I'm not in this price range. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here, but I am. I kind of want to be in this price range down here. So I start looking. There you go. And I really, between these two, 2200 or 2200, 41 watchers. Why are you watching? Why? Why are you watching this one, but you're not watching this one? The world will never know. But there you go. Those are some things to look out for. We're going to cut this video off. Don't want it to be too long, but let's dialogue. What are some things that you'd like to know how to do? And I'd love to maybe make some more tutorial videos here soon. So for Victory Investments, thanks again. You can check out more of our videos. Hit the subscribe if that was helpful or if this is something that is up your alley. And I look forward to talking to you and staying connected with you here on YouTube.